welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. Night 2 of the Republican Convention was last night. It was excellent. You have night 3 coming up tonight, and who knows what the Trumpster will pull out tonight. I mean, last night you had the naturalization ceremony, you had the pardon going on last night, and CNN could not handle it. Joining us to talk about the Republican Convention, what we've seen, and how it compares to what we saw with the Democrats last week, the co-chair of the RNC, and one of our favorite Texans, of course, Tommy Hicks, back with us here on the program. Tommy, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are we doing in Lubbock, Chad?
We're doing great, and I have to say, with the RNC, with what we're seeing at the convention, you have to be just absolutely elated with how the first 2 nights have gone.
We are thrilled with how the first 2 nights have gone, and you know what? We have 2 more nights left, so more great things to come. But what a stark contrast between what we've done and for the president and what the Democrats laid out last week in their virtual convention, which was basically a show of how they unite together because of their hatred of Trump and their love of big government socialist policies.
Yeah, I mean, last week it was Joe's a nice guy. That's what they were trying to. That was the message last week that the Democrats were trying to get across. They really never brought up much policy. I think Bernie Sanders brought up a little bit of policy, but I mean, other than that, it was Trump is just a mean guy, and Biden's a nice guy. And that was their whole message. And then you fast forward to this week, and there's policy discussion going on. There's, comparing, the Biden nice guy myth to the reality of Biden and the deals that he has done for his family. I mean, it's a big contrast between the 2 conventions.
Exactly. And there's nothing nice about a tax increase of $4 trillion that affects 82% of the American people, Green New Deal, which kills 10 million plus jobs in Texas, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and elsewhere, and makes it more expensive for people to heat their homes and fill their gas tanks up in their cars.
Yeah, and I think especially when you're going through when we're going through a pandemic, now's not the right time to tell everybody, hey, your taxes are going to go up. I don't think anybody wants to hear that, no matter how much money they might be making. Have you been surprised? The media reaction to the Republican convention. CNN is interrupted, I think, every 10 minutes. They'll interrupt to go to their talking heads that are just blown away and upset with what's going on. Even Fox is barely covering the convention. Are you disappointed by that? I mean, it seems like there's just a lack of coverage compared to what the Democrats had.
I think people are watching. Tens of millions of people are watching, not just on cable TV. We're watching online, and there are different media available. But the message is getting out. We're getting feedback from all over the country, from suburban women, from Democrats who want to switch over to the Republican Party under this president's leadership, and it's been a really strong message, and it's been effective too.
What do you think we can expect for the last 2 nights of the convention?
Well, we're going to have more everyday Americans get out and tell their stories of how this president's policies and leadership have lifted them up. We're going to hear more stories. Jack Brewer speaking tonight. He's a terrific speaker, but he talks about how important religion is in the families, and this president's been one of the strongest supporters of religious freedom we've ever had. So we're going to see some things that inspire Americans, optimistic and hopeful messaging that's what the American people crave.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy, appreciate you joining us today. Y'all keep up the great work with the convention, and we'll visit with you guys afterwards.
All right, Chad. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. That's Tommy Hicks, co-chair of the RNC. And, listen, it's been the first 2 nights of the convention have been absolutely fantastic, very well produced compared to what the Democrats were doing, last week. where, I mean, the settings have been nice. The videos have been very well produced, and the messaging has just it's been absolutely fantastic. So hats off to the RNC.